Hello, my name is Matthew Davis. I'm a personal trainer and a strength coach. You can find me at davispersonaltraining.com, D-A-V-I-S. I specialize in training athletes, people who are looking for weight loss, and post-rehab. So we're looking at today my greatest success story, people who I've worked with. I've trained a lot of different women, especially for weight loss. One that kind of comes that I think of is a lady I trained named Phyllis. Now Phyllis, when she originally came to me, needed to lose about 40 pounds. And also, a lot of people that are coming looking for weight loss, so one of the main problems is they're very weak. When they first come in looking for weight loss, their chest is weak, their back is weak, legs are weak. So we had to start somewhere with strength training first. So really success that she found is at the very beginning, she couldn't do a chin-up, couldn't do squat, couldn't do a lunge, couldn't do much of anything. Okay? So right off the bat, we need to improve coordination and strength. So that greatly improved. By the time I was done with her, she was doing vertical chin-ups, push-ups, lunges, squats, no problem. Weight loss-wise, we're looking at about 30 pounds she lost. My best fat loss tips, okay, especially for women who are training out there, okay? Number one, resistance training. Absolutely must be done, okay? Have to work the fast twitch fibers. That's how metabolism gets developed. So weight lift, number one, in all different rep ranges, all different set ranges, all different angles, all different exercises, okay? That's number one. Number two is to use high-intensity interval training, okay? This can be done in many ways. The easiest way is getting involved in an explosive sport. For example, martial arts. If you can train in martial arts, that's fantastic. Fantastic way to lean out. If you look at the people that are involved in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, you see how lean they are, how strong they are. Part of that is the nature of their sport, okay? How explosive it is. It trains the muscle fibers that lead to higher metabolism. So any type of sport that does that. Tennis can do, hockey, baseball, sprinting, anything like that. If you're not involved in a sport, then you can also go to a gym and use anything like a treadmill or an elliptical or anything like that. But it has to be an explosive interval type training, okay? And also, last thing with that would be what you're eating. Nutrition, very important. Very simple with nutrition. Your meal composition should consist of some type of lean protein, okay? Vegetables, and omega-3s. That's what most of your meals should be made up of. As far as processed carbs, what you want to do with that if you're trying to lose weight or trying to lean out is save your processed carbs for 2 times. Either first thing in the morning, okay, or after a workout. That's the only time you want to have processed carbs. Any other time, all the meals will consist of lean protein source, omega-3s, and vegetables. 3 things that you should avoid if you're looking for weight loss or trying to lean out, okay? First one is low-calorie diets. That's what a lot of people do. They want to lean out so they get the impression that it's all about mathematics, when it's more about biology than just mathematics. And what they do is they go on a low-calorie diet. They don't eat anything. Well, the problem with that is the metabolism responds by breaking muscle tissue down. Releases a hormone called cortisol, breaks your muscle tissue down, that lowers metabolism. So don't go on a low-calorie diet or start starving yourself. That's the first thing you don't want to do, okay? The other thing is excessive aerobic work. And let me define this, okay? Is you see in gyms a lot, people come in, they get on the treadmill, and they'll work on the treadmill for, say, an hour and a half at a low intensity. That's aerobic training or excessive endurance training, okay? You want to stay away from that. Because what that does, in the long run, maybe not at the very beginning when you started, aerobic training does have its uses, okay? But when it's used as a fat loss tool for a long period of time, research shows, particularly the past 6 weeks, it has a very strong cortisol response. And as I already talked about, cortisol is a hormone that breaks down muscle tissue and destroys your metabolism. So excessive cardio work, be very careful about that. That's where a lot of people really go wrong, especially ladies, okay? And the last thing is processed foods. You want to stay away from that. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Is think about foods that were not available if you took the whole idea or the whole archetype of a caveman. What was available? Okay? Processed foods are essentially foods that were designed in the laboratory. So I'm talking processed lunch meat, anything that kind of, if you go to a grocery store, it comes in a box, processed cereals. Stay away from that. Okay? They have a very, very strong insulin response to them, and they don't have a lot of vitamins or minerals or nutrients, and there's kind of an idea that people need to get their fiber from processed foods, like a processed Special K cereal or something like that. The truth is, fruits and vegetables have way more fiber than any processed grain will ever do. So you want to limit that, okay? So those have been these are kind of the ideas that I use to really lean people out, okay? They really, really work. When I compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sometimes. These are the same ideas that I use for myself. And I go into my weight category very strong, and I usually win when I go in. So they're very successful strategies. And I've learned these strategies from coaches like Paul Chek, Charles Poliquin, John Berardi. You know, they work over and over and over again. Okay, so this is the best stuff that I can offer you. Okay, good luck. Okay, again, if you want to know more about me, davispersonaltraining.com. Thank you.